Today in the nerdy news you need to know about, video game actors are on strike. Bioshock's movie is still coming, but with a lower budget. That can't be good. And Legacy of Kain remasters have been spotted. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Friday, July 26th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the Lock, Roger Picorni.
What up?
What is that, a new thing?
It's like
man?
a New York thing.
It's like it's a New York thing. It's old. So it's one of the things they say for a while.
One of those old things. Yeah,
How old? You think 2000 that started?
I don't know. I don't speak for any New Yorker. I don't speak for the history of New York. Because anytime I do, people get real mad. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, you're not a real New Yorker. You were born in Long Island.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You know what I mean? I just want to put that out there.
I've been saying it for
Fuck
years.
you.
I've been saying it for years. Fuck you guys over
Fuck
there.
you.
You know
Fuck
what I mean?
you.
Yeah, fuck
Fuck
them.
you.
I'll tell you, Kevin, just such a chip on their shoulders.
I know. Especially New Yorkers.
Oh, New York's the best place. Why'd you leave?
Exactly.
Why'd you leave?
Why am I here? Why am I here, everybody?
Yeah, you know what
I
mean?
do miss the fucking pizza.
I think we forced him, right?
I miss the pizza, everybody.
Yeah,
He's like,
that's
I want to stay. And
but
we're
for
like,
his
no,
dream.
No.
He could have stayed there in one of these 9,000 fucking floor apartment buildings, another cockroach living among cockroaches, you know what I mean?
Never seen a cockroach in my New York City apartment. I will say that.
Wow,
I was
that's
very excited. I was very excited. Yeah, because I'm so scared of
Where'd you
cockroaches.
live in New York City?
Brooklyn.
Okay.
Brooklyn. I hate cockroaches. I'm so scared of them.
Oh, yeah, I
I'm
don't
so
like that one
fucking
bit.
scared.
I
They're
hate
like that's
bugs.
like I'm like bugs in general, not too bad with. Cockroaches, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Well, the problem with the cockroach, you see one cockroach, it's like, oh, fuck.
I will say, when I moved into my place here, I saw one singular cockroach
Hello.
when I first moved in here. And I was
you're
like,
the new tenant. Let me finish. you
yeah,
sweater.
literally. And I was like, oh shit, this is how it's gonna go. Never seen a cockroach since.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, this is
Did
living
you
somewhere.
do anything?
I tried killing it, and then it crawled inside of like the hinge on my door. And I couldn't, it just never left. And I was like, okay, well, this is gonna be an issue for later. It never came back. So hopefully it just died in there and then boom.
No, it did not. I assure you. Right? Because so it's like the actual hinge.
Yeah,
not the door jam.
No, yeah, in the actual hinge in my bathroom, which was like even worse.
So then it just went in the wall.
Yeah, I never told Leanne about this because
I
she
was-
would
I
freak
was
out.
there.
You didn't watch this.
No, you don't
were
watch
there?
this.
Yeah, remember? I was at your house when that happened.
I'm
pretty sure I was because I remember it happening in your bathroom and you being like, "That's crazy." Okay.
I don't think
All
so.
right.
I
I'm
was
pretty
taking a
sure
poop.
it was.
I don't think you were in my house.
Maybe
I don't think
twice then.
Oh shit.
Kevin was the toilet.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, that's the worst too.
Yeah.
Like you're most vulnerable.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
know.
can't pop up to fix anything right away.
Yeah, I tried taking my flip flop and I was
Oh,
like,
no,
this, and I'm like
no,
hanging
no,
over.
no,
No, it's never
no,
gonna
I
work.
don't
It's
like
not
that
gonna
one
work,
bit.
everybody.
But no, they didn't see him again. That's great.
Yeah.
What are we doing right now in the world of video games for Roger Picorni?
Not much, honestly. I'm playing a little bit of Persona 3. It's not clicking with me, and that's not
Persona.
it's so cool though. That is such a cool visual, and everything about the visuals of this game, I want to love this.
Yeah,
My brain's not built for traditional turn-based games. Like especially.
Did you ever connect with 4 or with 5?
I connected with 4 just because I had a Vita, and there was really not much more to play on the Vita. You know what I mean? I didn't really have anything.
Hold on, take it back.
I didn't have much to play.
What
on
about
the
Freedom
Vita.
Wars?
I'm not fucking playing Freedom Wars.
Freedom Wars was so good.
I'm not playing no fucking Freedom Wars. So I tried it on 4. I enjoyed it. I hit a wall. And then 5, I'm like, I enjoyed it, hit a wall. 3, I'm hitting that wall way earlier than I thought I was gonna. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this, but I want to like it. I want to fall in love with it. I just can't get the game of the year, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, out of my head. Every time I'm playing Persona 3, I'm like, man, I wish this had the gameplay of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I know that's a hot take, but that's just where I'm at. That's just where I'm at with it.
Interesting. Okay. When we talk about Like a Dragon, did you platinum it 1,000? Are you still playing it?
No, I'm still playing it. I'm still like, I do the idiotic thing where I play it and I'm like, oh, I had a good time, close my Xbox, and then I turn it back on, I'm like, didn't save. So then I have like an hour or two of progress, never saved it for some fucking
what about
reason.
what do they call it? Quick start? Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, also, I hacked my Xbox recently. I didn't hack it, but like I got into dev mode, so now I have emulators on it, but I have to go to
you
dev
broke
mode.
it, so you can't be mad that it doesn't do what it's supposed to.
No, I didn't break it. It is part of it. You can go to dev mode and you can like
Quick resume. That's it. Thanks.
Yeah, but then when you go to dev mode, it turns off all the quick
Of course it does. Yeah,
and then
because you broke it.
I didn't break it.
Just
it's
let
part
it be.
It's part of it. Allegedly.
It's not supposed to be that
It's
way.
part of it.
You went in
It's part
and
of it.
voided the warranty on it, so now it doesn't work the way it's supposed to work. You can't blame that thing.
That's not how that works. It's part of the. You know what I mean? It's a different thing. It's a separate boot.
Xbox ridiculously good about the quick resume.
Yeah.
I'll unplug it and walk away, come back, plug it back in. And it's, I'm
really?
still here. Oh, yeah, Xbox is great.
Oh, that's so sick.
But you're like, oh, here, I want to hack the
breaking
planet.
I'm breaking it.
Doing emulators.
I'm going to dev mode. I'm playing fucking Sonic Adventures 2 for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. It's a big deal,
Olive
Greg.
Party said in the chat, and I trust Olive Party except for the fact that he leaked Tim Geddes' wedding.
That's true.
Get Roger a better mic. He deserves it. Is something wrong with your
No,
mic?
okay, so I was playing... Fuck.
Oh, I did hear the end of this story.
Yeah, I was playing Marvel
Story.
Rivals with Snowbike Mike and Blessing and Andy, and I'm just playing on my PS5, and I'm like, okay, let me just plug in my HyperXs to my fucking controller and go on Discord.
Yeah.
And it's picking up my breathing. It's not picking up the words I'm saying. I don't understand how the fuck that works. PlayStation Infinite Knowledge doesn't allow me to like actually set the gate of anything that I'm doing in Discord.
Oh, you're blaming the PlayStation for this?
Yeah, I'm
not
on
the HyperX. Okay.
I'm blaming the PlayStation because it works on my computer. You know, beautiful PC gaming right there. It works. I can actually go to the settings. Fucking PlayStation's like, oh, people don't understand how settings work, so we're just gonna have a volume button. What the fuck? Let me adjust the settings. Let me go in there and fix the gate. PlayStation, why are you going half in, half out? Half in, half out. Go full. If you're going to have Discord support, let me actually change the shit so I can make my mic work. Okay?
Were you streaming? Is that what's happening?
They were streaming.
Art by Brandon Lee says it sounded like the DualSense mic. Is it possible that was happening?
That's the weird part. That was the weird part about it because I thought it was, and then I would tap the DualSense and it wouldn't make a noise. I would tap my mic and it would work. So I think what was happening is it was somehow connecting to the DualSense mic, thinking that was like the sensitivity of it, but also picking up my actual mic. Very bizarre situation happening there.
Have you heard that console gaming is super simple and that if you just bought the PlayStation Elite headset, it would work flawlessly because it's fantastic?
Why would they have a 3.5 millimeter plug right there? Why can I plug anything I want in there?
They're aware there's some porers who got their hands on the system who want to use their airplane headphones like a bunch of weirdos.
That's true.
That's why right there. And sometimes you need it. You know, they didn't charge.
Yeah, so you gotta play it. But
I did actually when I took my Xbox and the X screen to Canada. I got there and I realized I didn't bring 3.5, so I was using the shitty ass like airplane headset.
That's the way God intended. Yeah. Then I tried plugging in the Raycon headphones.
The Ray J ones, right?
Yeah, the Ray J one gaming headphones, and then it created an echo. I thought these were. I don't know why I thought that would fix anything. So yeah, I need a better mic. Everybody, I need to figure it out, but. I am very like, hey, I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna make this HyperX work just because it's the principle of the matter.
Now you're gonna do it. Did you troubleshoot? You go into some forums, look for how to do it?
I did. There's no answer, but I'm going to just stick with it just because it's like, hey, this should work. You know what I mean? I'm stubborn like that, Greg. If it's supposed to work, I'm gonna make it work.
I hear you. This is my whole thing with my biggest pet peeve: technology not working. Drives me fucking crazy. Drives me up the wall.
Let me just plug it in.
I'll tell you something. People think I'm too good to talk shit about PlayStation. Yesterday I sat down, Benny wanted to play Hot Wheels Unleashed. It's like, well, it's almost bath time. We're not going to go downstairs to the big TV. You can play on the special PlayStation, which is the remote plays PlayStation. Booted that thing up, guess what? Got an update. And it downloads the update super quick and installs them super slow.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there with my son asking every 2% can he go? And it was a long time.
Yeah.
And then I know that I'm on a timer with Jen, right? Where it's too late for video games in general. And now I'm pushing bath time back even further because of this goddamn portal.
Did he end up playing games?
Of course he did.
Aw.
And then he had a huge meltdown when I took it away. But, kids, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every week on a variety of platforms like YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. We run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live. If you like that, of course, be part of the show. If you're over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames watching live, you can super chat to be part of the show with your questions, comments, concerns, and anything under the daily video game sun. Of course, if you're watching later, we love that. Like, subscribe, share wherever you're getting the show. Remember, the best way to support us is with the Kind of Funny membership. If you love what we do here, of course, we need your help with that Kind of Funny membership. $10 gets you all of our shows ad-free, the ability to watch us record the afternoon podcast live as we record them, and of course, your daily dose of me in a series we call Gregway. It's a vlog, it's a podcast, it's a damn good time, usually from the car. Started it too late today. I was rocking out, so I'm gonna do it from here.
I heard you singing "Hot to Go."
I was singing "Hot to Go."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I need to get up there. I was doing. It was the Billie Eilish into when I needed more bangers, and of course, Chapel's always going to be there for me. Went over there, went through her discography real quick to get there. I was having a good time.
I love that.
Of course, we are an 11-person small business all about live talk shows. Right now, of course, you are getting Kind of Funny Games Daily, and after this is a jam-packed Friday as always. You'll get the GAMESCAST immediately following this. It'll be our Call of Duty Warzone 2024 review. It'll be me hosting because I know nothing.
Whoa.
Andy, Mike, and the weapons arbiter, Chris Anka, joining us to talk about hot dropping in Verdansk and Rebirth Island. And I think I've run out of things I know about Call of Duty.
I'm excited
Warzone.
to hear your review after the one time.
That's not going to happen. But it's more about I do want you know me as a student of the game, remembering what the big deal is when this launched in 2020.
Yeah.
Where we're at 4 years later. What do you think? Look back at the review. What have they added? I'm stoked to have that conversation. After that, of course, is Kind of Funny Game Showdown, our weekly trivia show that I always win. And after that, it will be a stream of Marvel Rivals. However, the fun doesn't end there today. Of course, if you're a member, you can get Gregway. Congratulations. You're welcome. But if you are a Patreon supporter at the $25 tier, it is happy hour this afternoon. If you're unaware what that is a show where we sit down, crack a beer, and then take live call-ins from you on Discord. We do it only for the people who are going above and beyond on Patreon. So that's patreon.com/kindafunny. And of course, if you're down in San Diego tonight, you don't need to be a Kinda Funny member. Head on over to Quantum Brewery at 7:30 p.m. to have a beer and see Nick Scarpino do comedy. You can get tickets over at kindafunny.com/SDCC. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs and Delaney Twining. Today, we're brought to you by our Portillo merch, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. We got 6 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen!
The smell in the fog, it gets me high. Gives me that thing. It's like sniffing glue,
Oh.
except it's fog.
And makes you high as well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it does. Maybe it's a placebo kind of effect. You know?
Yeah. I saw you once just crawling on the floor. Just
Yeah, I've taken it to the face once or
didn't know what
twice.
you
You
were
know what I
doing.
mean? Not always fog. Number 1 on the Roper Report. Video game actors are going on strike over AI. That's artificial intelligence, not Allen Iverson. We go to Kotaku, where Ethan Gach writes, video game actors are going on strike for the first time since 2017 after months of negotiation with Activision, Epic Games, and other big publishers and studios over higher pay, better safety measures, and protections from new generative AI technologies. They'll be hitting the picket line a year after Hollywood actors and writers wrapped up their own historic strikes in an escalation that could have big consequences for the development and marketing of some of the industry's biggest games. Members of the Screen Actor Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, SAG-AFTRA, voted last fall to authorize the strike, citing an unwillingness of big game companies to budge on guaranteeing performers' rights over how their work is used in training AI or creating AI-generated copies. Roughly 2,600 voice actors and motion captured artists, including talents like Troy Baker from The Last of Us, Jennifer Hale from Mass Effect, and Matt Mercer from The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, but let's be honest, Critical Role, have been working without an interactive media agreement since November 2022. The strike started, today at 12:01 a.m. Quote, the video game industry generates billions of dollars in profit annually. The driving force behind that success is the creative people who design and create those games. Chief negotiator Duncan Crabtree Ireland. Full stop. What a fucking name.
that's powerful.
Duncan Crabtree Ireland is your fucking name, Duncan?
And
is
you're
dope.
the chief negotiator? That's who you want as your chief negotiator.
Don't tell me it's DCI. It is. He's here. Quote, Duncan continues, that includes the SAG-AFTRA members who bring memorable and beloved game characters to life, and they deserve and demand the same fundamental protections as performers in film, television, streaming, and music. Fair compensation and the right of informed consent for the AI use of their faces, voices, and bodies. Frankly, it's stunning that these video game studios haven't learned anything from the lessons of last year that our members can and will stand up and demand fair and equitable treatment with respect to AI, and the public supports us on that. We are disappointed the union has... Okay, so then there's a jump. This is a different quote. Different quote here. This is from Audrey Cooling for the companies involved in the interactive media agreement. This is an email statement. We are disappointed the union has chosen to walk away when we are so close to a deal, and we remain prepared to resume negotiations. We have already found common ground on 24 of the 25 proposals, including historic wage increases and additional safety provisions. Our offer is directly responsive to SAG-AFTRA's concerns and extends meaningful AI protections that include requiring consent and fair compensation to all performers working under the IMA. These terms are among the strongest in the entertainment industry, end quote. Roger.
Hi.
I think with this thing from Audrey here, clearly it's the actors who are the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely not. This, great for them. I'm happy that they are striking. I'm happy that they are standing their ground. I'm happy also that apparently that they have found common ground on 24 out of 25, but clearly there's one sticking point.
What is the sticking point?
And
you
that
know
is,
what I mean?
yeah, of course, it's AI, right? And I believe it was said there, but I'm bringing up, this is from Kotaku.
Ethan Gach.
Yeah, the line of saying that they're specifically looking for informed consent that would require companies to offer secondary contracts, right? The secondary contracts aspect of it, I think, is extremely important, right? Of course, you can just say, hey, you guys need to sign off on it, but no, they need more money. They need a secondary contract that potentially there's years in between the usage of their voice and their likeness, and things change, right? Like, I think that you need a lot more than just, hey, no, you have to just sign off on this thing. No, I need to actually be able to renegotiate with you and figure out what that looks like for me monetarily, but also for the rights of my voice and my likeness. It's very important that they're doing this, and it is something that is only, as we see with the Screen Actor Guild with actual television and movies, and also with the writer strike this year. Fuck, right? Oh my gosh. Was it this year?
What?
The writer strike? Was that this year? Oh my God. Time is like...
No. Was it? No. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's wild. It is extremely important that this is the sticking point. This is not the one that we can just kind of gloss over because things are going to change.
Last year.
Okay. Whew. I had the moment where I was like,
Time's
this
a flat
totally
circle.
could
Who
be this year.
knows?
This is going to be the thing that is already changing so rapidly in the last few years, but in the next 3, 4, 5 years, it's going to change immensely.
Let's pull in the AP. Sarah Parvini had the report on this, and I like this tag on the end here as we go, well, what's this thing we're still negotiating? SAG-AFTRA negotiators say gains have been made over wages and job safety in the video game contract, but that the two sides remain split over the regulation of generative AI. A spokesperson for the video game producers, Audrey Cooling, you know her from the last thing, said the studios offered AI protections, but SAG-AFTRA's negotiating committee said that the studio's definition of who constitutes a performer is key to understanding the issue of who would be protected. Quote, the industry has told us point blank that they do not necessarily consider everyone who is rendering movement performance to be a performer that is covered by the collective bargaining agreement, SAG-AFTRA Chief Contracts Officer Ray Rodriguez, way less cool name, said at a news conference Thursday afternoon. He said some physical performances are being treated as data. That sheds so much more light on what's going on.
So interesting right there. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I could see why that is a sticking point for the studios because looking at it and be like, no, well, we want to be able to.
We have a library of people running and climbing a ledge. Can't we just use that? No, it needs to be new every time, or those people need to be compensated, or we can't put that into just a thing to sell.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I understand how that disagreement can create a strike in this, hey, we're standing our line here, we're standing our line over there. But no, I think that those people absolutely need a secondary contract as well because of course they're putting in the work. It doesn't matter if it's not their voice, it is their movements, it is their style, it is their martial arts potentially. Right?
I was going to say, right, like you can sit there and think about Troy and the ping pong ball suit, but it's usually these mocap performers who are just doing this, and that is their job, is to go out there and act and mocap and be the lioness or whatever the hell they need to go be, right? So yeah, no, that totally would suck you did that and that's data now. That's not a performance, that's data. No, that's not how this works. Yeah. And again, like I fall in line with, of course, what our friend, the coolest name on the block, DCI, is talking about here, right? Of like, it's the SpongeBob, or is it SpongeBob? Yeah, SpongeBob, the fish yelling, like, how many times we got to teach you this lesson, old man? Like, it's like, yeah, we just went through this. It sucked for Hollywood. It would suck for video games as well. So just fucking figure this out. Yeah. It's not data. That's stupid. Done. Are we done? We're done. Let's move on.
Yeah, no, it's sadly not going to be as easy as that. But
no, I know it never is. Sadly.
Yeah, absolutely. But in a perfect world, I wish that we saw that and they were able to figure that out. But no, I hope that this is not a long strike. I hope that this is, hey, we're fucking serious about this. We're striking. Okay, no, let's go back to the negotiating table. Let's figure this out. But
and that's the question. I think, how long do you think this actually goes?
I don't think it's going to be too long, just because they are so close with everything else, right?
Yeah.
With the writer strike and the actor strike in Hollywood, they were apart in many different avenues, not just AI. It was royalties as well. It seems like they're pretty aligned with everything else. So I don't think it's going to be too long. I don't necessarily want to guess if it's going to be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever.
Yeah, well, how do you know? Yeah,
exactly. But I don't think this is going to be a historically long strike.
I would think so too. Again, we saw how this went the first time, and again, this is the power of a union, right? I think when we talk about unions, why do you do this or what do we do? I don't see that all that often, honestly. But it is the idea that we're down to 24 of 25, or was it 25 of 26? We're down to one thing we're arguing about.
Yeah.
And it's for mocap performances, right? Which I think are, in terms of pop culture, in terms of IGN.com and kind of funny Games Daily, probably so low on the, oh man, what a cool, sexy thing to talk about, right?
Sure.
That's a hard way if they were on their own trying to fight this fight to elevate that to somebody caring. But when you go to, Ashley Birch's Instagram, right? And like the fact they already have a panel going on for game actors on game actors, right? I'm excited for this. Going to check out game performance with some of my favorite people. Come get a deep dive in everything. That was set before this all happened at Comic-Con. That's today's panel, right? And they're promoting it still the same way, right? And Ashley has her right now locked post right of the top of her key here. Until the strike is resolved, I will not work on a video game unless it's signed to the SAG-AFTRA interim or tiered budget agreement. No other contracts provide AI protections for voice or movement. Any employer can sign their game to one of these contracts right now and continue working during the strike. Again, you have these people who are the voices. They are the Troys. They are the Ashleys. They are the Jennifer Hales that can go out there and champion this. And yes, the majority of the things they need to be protected are there already, but not necessarily for these mocap performers. But because you're all part of the same union, right? Let's go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's great to see these larger voices all coming together. And yeah, you're right. The movement side of it is kind of invisible, right? We take it for granted, and there's a lot of misunderstandings with it, right? It's like, oh, you just put on the suit and you just kind of walk around and that's it, right? No, it's an art itself. So it's great that they are also being elevated, and the whole strike is kind of revolved around that. Like, that is, I didn't know about that part until we started doing the show. So like, that's really incredible. That kind of blew me away just now. That's awesome.
Of course. Of course, this then leads to the question of us as consumers, how long this goes, how badly this screws up budgets and time budgets more than anything. I guess monetary budgets as well, but games that are gestating now that are about to go into the VO and then boom. And I'm also interested of, does this affect any Comic-Con panels right now?
Yeah.
Of course, last year I was set to host the Twisted Metal panel with Anthony Mackie and Samoa Joe and all these people. Strike happened, that completely changed. I was able to still go host the just premiere of, hey, we're going to screen the episode because of this, because SAG-AFTRA said, even though I'm not a union member, if you have an outstanding agreement, you can still go fulfill those.
So yeah, from what I've seen, I believe there's a Dragon Age panel. They are still doing that panel.
Okay.
And it's like, hey, it's the same thing. Of if you are under contract, exactly. This just happened. If you're under contract, go do it. But other than that, come to the pick line.
Interesting,
afterwards.
very cool. I like that. And I appreciate that SAG makes the rules so clear and has FAQs of how to help and what can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's the same thing I saw being shared by other peers in the journalistic video game press of like, they're not calling for a boycott of us talking about games that just, if you do talk about a game, make sure you talk about this, or if you're talking about a game affected by this, or a company, the EAs or whoever's.
Which I think is the right thing.
Of course. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But anyways, back to where I was originally driving with this. It'll be interesting to see how long this goes and then what that does in terms of video game pipelines, right? And when you actually get games, because we've seen that before screw up a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
CJ Splits On writes in with a super chat, just like you can, at youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. And should you hear the headline, what's the question? Let's go. He says, does 2024 feel like an off year for gaming? Less so in big releases and more so in hype and discussion for big releases. Seems like the big three are quiet. I think as we talk about what this might mean for 2025 and beyond. Yeah. Thank you. Well, it's interesting also to be like, oh, well, what does 2024 feel like? 2024 feel like?
Specifically because of the strike, or just
just in general. I think as we talk about what could be a future slowdown, also what it looks like right now in terms of last year did feel like every week there was a game of the year contender out.
Yeah. And
this year has felt like a more quote unquote normal year. Still great games, but a more traditional, hey, your winter and spring are packed. Summer gets very quiet. Now you're in this holding pattern, and then we're going to come. It really feels like Gamescom will be the get ready, and then September is going to be we're right into, if everybody's fall dates actually show up, Dragon Age and Indie and this and that, and Star Wars Outlaws, I guess, is technically August. And, I mean, there's that Shadows thing as the ride really gets going.
Yeah, for sure. No, so the question was specifically, is 2020...
Does it feel like an off year right now?
I don't think so. I'm with you. I feel like this feels like a normal year. This feels normal-ish year.
Yeah.
This does not feel like, hey, we have the packed year, but it's when I look between 2023, 2025, I'm happy we have 2024, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think every year could be, oh my gosh, we got Tears of the Kingdom, we got all these games coming out. But no, this feels like a normal-ish year, and I look at everything and sure, PlayStation's a little quiet, but they're still putting out Astrobot, they're still putting out Concord, there's things coming out from PlayStation.
Yeah.
You look around, but gearing into 2025, I'm specifically interested with, again, as bring it back to the story really quick, like the pipeline of the voice actor, the actors in general going on strike, and if a lot of these games start to slip into 2025, or actually how much impact necessarily the strike will have, right? Because especially with newer games starting development, right? Because I think I'm not going to look at you and say that I understand labor laws or how this works, right? But I also remember the story from, I believe, 5 years ago now when Troy Baker was the voice of Reese from Borderlands. Yeah, and then Borderlands 3 came around, and then Borderlands 3 was not a union game, right? Like, so then he just was not a part of it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, for at least the outside looking in, I look at Hollywood and I'm like, oh, everybody's part of SAG-AFTRA pretty much. Like, you saw how everything shut down, but the video game industry is a little bit different, right?
Yes.
Voice actors, and it's all very different. There's a lot of non-union people in the game industry. So I wonder if things start to shift or if that's even allowed. I don't understand all that, but it makes me think of like, oh, are newer games gonna wait to start actually doing that? Or they'll be like, oh no, we're just gonna pull back and not have any
I think
union
the
jobs.
games that are scheduled for the end of this year are probably fine.
Yeah.
You're not worried there. I'm sure there's going to be a pickup they wanted here or there, a change there that they'll just grin and bear it and not do now. And even stuff that's getting started, usually VO and stuff is a more mid to, where you're going in terms of production. So it's really the stuff that's been gestating that probably has a 2025 date on it that you have to go, oh, okay, well, what does that do to them? What does that do to something like Fable? How much more Fabled stuff were they trying to get done? Yeah. And again, I'm right there with you of like, I know Fable's being done over in the UK, so I'm not sure how many SAG people they work with there, but it is the thing, if you're a SAG actor, you're not working right now. Yeah. But then again, it's also back to this of like Ashley's Post. It's not impossible to work right now. It is just these other companies have to do it. And I remember during the Hollywood strike, right, there was one horror movie company that was like, yeah, whatever, and they signed off.
Yeah, it was A24.
A24 was doing it. Yeah,
A24. Yeah, and I also saw something, I think it was a Kotaku article saying that they reached out to specifically GTA 6. GTA 6 will continue production. I don't know if they signed one of the contracts, but the workers are allowed to continue.
Okay.
So it's still possible. People are still working in the industry. But yeah, it's interesting to see what this is going to look like, because in the movie industry, you see that slowdown. That slowdown is happening. It's trickling down. I wonder if we actually will be able to look back a year, 2 years from now and be like, oh no, that thing was delayed because of this, right?
Depends how long it goes, but I wouldn't be surprised if this gets a couple months. Then yeah, you see games that you thought were targeting 25 eventually be like, yeah, we couldn't make it, so we're pushing it, or we're trying to be earlier or whatever. But yeah, we'll see. Another super chat comes from Jonah. Just says performance still matters, of course.
Absolutely.
And then your final super chat for this story comes from Omega Buster. Is there any reporting on what percentage of game VO and mocap comes from SAG? Curious question. If Sony, example, just changed the VO for iconic characters, would you still buy? I don't know off the top. I can do a Google, I guess. SAG video game percentage. Maybe that'll get me where I want to be.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I'm doing.
If we can go to the second part of the question really quick, as you start doing some Googling, right? If any company's hiring scab workers, like, no, we should absolutely boycott those games. Like, if they started as a SAG production and they're like, actually, the strike is happening, we're going to hire some people that are non-union, fuck that. That should be something that you do not buy and you're not a part of. But I also wonder how much of that, you would know about that because voice actors will tell you. But
they'll be vocal.
Yeah, they'll be very vocal about that.
You will hear everyone talking about this for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If that happens, which I don't think a Sony would do that, I think that they know what's on the line there. But if you
not to mention again, it's how much you've already invested.
Yes.
Right, where it would be this whole idea of like recasting and redoing. And again, if this strike went on years and years or a year, right, then different ball of wax of maybe it is we gotta fucking go. But
yeah, but you're also burning bridges, right?
Yeah, like, of course. That's the other thing too.
This is a very small industry. Voice actors are very vocal, and they will tell you, hey, listen, I worked with this company and they fucking hired scab workers to replace me. Don't work with that company again. It's gonna happen.
Bear's here to say something.
We scabbing?
Everybody go to barrettcourtney.com. He's doing VO.
Don't do that. If you're a video game developer that we are currently striking, do not do that. Do not cross the picket lines. Everybody, fuck scabs. We don't fuck with that here.
100%. I'm on to the actual page where you could go to sagafter.org/videogamestrike. And no, I don't have it. Somebody can, if you want to keep looking, everybody, you're wrong me and try to answer the question from Omega Buster of, is there any reporting on the percentage of game and VO mocap that comes from SAG? I don't know that off the top, man.
I saw someone in chat, I think it's Casino Bala, who said, we don't need scabs, we have AI. And that is the same thing. If there's a studio that is using AI to replace a union worker or just in general, a union production, fuck that. That is the exact same thing.
Let's move on to story number 2. The Bioshock movie is still in the works with a reduced budget. This is Adam B. Very at Variety and immediately super chat. The question is, can a Bioshock movie with a low budget work? I want to know, could it work? Are you excited for it? YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames with your super chats. Netflix's film adaptation of the seminal video game Bioshock with director Francis Lawrence is being quote unquote reconfigured to be quote more personal, a more personal film with a reduced budget. Producer Roy Lee, the Lego Movie, revealed on Thursday during a panel at San Diego Comic-Con. The adaptation was first announced February 2022 as a partnership between Netflix and the game producers 2K and Take-Two Interactive. Since the announcement, however, Dan Lin replaced Scott Stuber as Netflix's film chief, and Lin has refocused the streamer's movie strategy to a more relatively modest approach from Stuber's mandate of expansive spending on a prolific film slate. Quote, "The new regime has lowered the budgets," Lee said, "so we're doing a much smaller version. It's going to be a more personal point of view as opposed to a grander big project." Lawrence is still attached to direct, and Greg, looking into the future, says he will not make this. This is actually not going to happen.
Yeah, no. To answer the super chat question real quick, I think you can make a Bioshock movie for a lower budget. Do they want to make a Bioshock movie for a lower budget?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So if the idea was, hey, we're going to make this massive $200 million movie, and they're like, no, you got to make it for 25, 50 million, whatever it is, that is not going to work out. That rarely works out unless you have a very specific vision of like, hey, we can make a smaller, low budget, running gun type movie. I have the idea. I've worked it out. You can't cut the budgets and make that still work.
100%, right? I think that would be the problem of this would be, and again, how far into this movie is it actually?
Yeah.
Yes, of course, February 2022, they announced a partnership. Dan Lin is doing the, it's like, or that's Dan Lin. Francis Lawrence is direct. Like, I get all of that, but you assume they would have been down the production pipeline quite a way.
Yeah.
And then it's the idea of like, now take it back to formula. It's like,
no.
What are we doing?
I think the idea of a smaller Bioshock movie actually excites me. I love when a studio, shouldn't use the broad term, but like in general, when there is like, hey, we have an idea for this property, it's going to be a smaller budget thing. That excites me most of the time because it's like, hey, we could focus on the story. Someone usually has a vision to make this thing happen and make it in a way that isn't a $300 million, CGI fest. But and I think a Bioshock specifically movie could work in a lower budget. And what does a lower budget mean in Hollywood anymore?
Yeah, that's the other thing. What was the budget originally?
Exactly.
You know
like wasn't like Deadpool like $100 million movie? That's a lower budget movie. It's like that apples to oranges, whatever.
You're underwater. I'm assuming. You know what I mean. You're doing the Rapture vibe, like.
Hey, good morning, bro.
If you're spending your money on like just a CG escape of walking by and seeing shit out there, having a bunch of splicers running around doing that, I'm assuming you only get like one plasmid, right? You get it very late, and then you use it. Probably only one big daddy and little sister that's chasing you throughout the entire way. We got a hot mic. Something's wrong with the mic, Kevin. Mike, hot mic.
No.
Well, everybody else.
There's a lot of like.
Give me 1 second.
Everybody, we're checking on the mic. Mike and Andy are live. Go tell them right now to shut up. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
It's funny when they're like Mike, and then they're showing photos of Mike, and I'm like, wait, what are you saying it in a funny way, or are you saying that like this is what's happening? Snowbike Mike yapping.
Mike yapping.
What if he's in there and he's just like, man, fuck these unions. Troy Baker wants another.
It might be. Hey, Slappy, what's a union?
We will continue. Everybody keeps still saying hot mic, so I don't
we'll figure
know.
this out.
Now they're saying LMAO, so I don't know.
Bring him out.
We don't want to go through the middle. Is it all good? We're all good.
all good.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you can make a
You
smaller
could,
budget.
yeah, of course, but it's what was their vision? Are they on? Is the director still on board for that vision?
Yeah.
Again,
it does not seem like they are. They seem pretty salty about
if
it.
you're just saying this all publicly,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You're getting out there, whatever.
Yeah, and that's I don't know. I mean, also the new regime has lowered budgets, which makes sense. Again, when you're giving $500 million to Zack Snyder to make 7 different versions of his
He needed another
trilogy.
Snyder cut.
Yeah,
of this
exactly.
movie. All right, whatever. But yeah, I think again it could work. But I don't think from this state it would work.
Yeah, I can foresee the director leaving pretty soon for creative differences, and then they maybe bring in somebody else who has that clear.
Well, I mean,
vision.
I'll change the question and I'll put it back to Super Chat too. Like, do you think this ever actually happens? Because this sounds like what we're used to with video game and comic book movies of just gestation hell. It's all just there doing its fucking thing.
Yeah, I'll never forget what was it? Probably 2010 when they're like, we're making a Gears of War movie where we have the whole cast, we're ready to go, and it's just like never happened. Splinter Cell had that too. Like there was that era in like 2010s where it's like we're making all these movies and then they never happen. I feel like right now is kind of that boom, so you're seeing a lot of these ideas pop up and then never formulate again. So it's it's kind of a throwback.
We will move on to story number 3 after I tell you about the Kind of Funny membership. Of course, the Kind of Funny membership supports an 11-person small business. How small? Sometimes you hear the other room talking. We couldn't do it without you, of course. Your $10 gets you good karma for supporting a small business, but also it gets you each and every one of our shows ad-free, the ability to watch the afternoon podcast live as we record them, and of course, the daily multimedia experience known as Gregway, video and podcast formats. But guess what? Right now, you're not using your membership benefits, which, of course, if you were on Patreon at the $25 level, would also get you a happy hour today where you could call in and talk to us on Discord. So, enjoy a word from our sponsors. New merch alert! We brought back the Portillo hat and t-shirt in new colors, as well as a stylish crew neck. I also wrote a children's book about Portillo, and you loved it so much that we sold out in just 3 hours. Wow, thank you! But fear not, we're doing another limited run. So if you want one, head over to kindoffunny.com/store, click the books page, and hit notify me when available to make sure you know when it goes live. And while you're there, grab a few shirts for your friends. Baby, come back! Number 3 on the Roper Report.
You can blame it all on me.
Number 3 on the Roper Report, Legacy of Kain remasters have been spotted at Comic-Con. This is Andy Robinson at VGC. And hey, full stop, everybody. Kevin, click that link. VGC is now officially on Patreon. VGC is one of the sites first off, independent site, right? One of the sites that we use all the time on Games Daily. And of course, Kind of Funny, the entire fact that we're able to do anything stems from Patreon. So if you're already on Patreon, please head over to patreon.com/videogameschronicle. Help Jordan, help Andy. Again, they are great folks. And of course, do great journalism over there. We read so much of their stuff here. It's only right to pay it back.
Yeah. Every morning when I wake up, VGC is the first website I go to. Yeah, VGC is awesome.
Also, Jordan Miller's a huge man. You know what I mean? Like
Wild.
he's oversized. Like it's not like he's tall. He's oversized.
Yeah. It's like it's almost a video game character.
Yeah,
level.
of course.
It's wild.
Yeah. You ever see that edit somebody did of him on the giant bomb couch?
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. It's so good.
Jordan Miller, we love you. Come visit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What up? We won't pay for you. Anyways, back to this. Legacy of Kain remasters have been spotted. And the super chat question we need you to sign in on is: would remasters be enough to get you to check out Legacy of Kain? Would remasters be enough to get you to check out Legacy of Kain? We have images of not even the leak, right? Remasters of classic action-adventure games in the Legacy of Kain series are seemingly in the works. As spotted by a user on Reset Era, a statue of Legacy of Kain's protagonists is on display at San Diego Comic-Con, featuring a logo for Legacy of Kain: Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered. Dark Horse Comics Vice President of Production Development and Sales, Randy Larman, told GameSpot that the statue on display at Comic-Con will be released in August, and that more information will be released later.
Wow.
Thank you, Randy. However, the company would not comment on the remasters, and the sign referencing them had been removed by the time it arrived at the Comic-Con booth. LOL. Do you care about Legacy of Kain?
Sorry, I thought you were still reading your...
No, that's it. That's just it.
LOL.
There it is. I just love a good accidental leak.
Yeah.
But I also then just like own it, Randy. They got you, Randy.
Yeah, it's
all
right
right.
here.
You got us on this one. We'll have more on that soon. But yes, they're real.
Exactly. This is, first of all, congratulations to Timur Hussein. He's been so excited about this. I am so happy for him. But I am very, very interested in replaying this game. Right, because not replaying this game, playing this game for the first time because I would watch my Aunt Randy play this all the time, and it was the coolest game in the world, but it would scare the fuck out of me. I was like maybe 4 or 5, and I would pee my pants. Okay, I was way too old to be peeing my pants, but it scared the fuck out of me. So
did you really pee him though? Huh? Did you really pee him because of the game?
Yeah, I peed him once because of Soul Reaver, I believe, because he's so cool, but then he like made a loud noise once. It was scary. But I am interested in these games. I've re-downloaded them actually on my modded Xbox, allegedly.
That doesn't save games anymore because of what you're doing. But that was worth it. What a trade-off, everybody. What a trade-off.
So I've actually been meaning to replay this as recently as a few weeks ago. So I'm interested in this, and I definitely will be trying this out because it seems like the coolest franchise ever.
I never got into it back in the day.
Yeah.
It had cool box art, and I forget why I never actually took the shot on it or never did the Blockbuster rental on it or whatever. It was always something that looked cool, and I never did it.
Yeah.
And then, you jump ahead in my career and then to where we are now, and it's like when I was covering Uncharted and found out that Amy Hennig, of course, made Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. I was like, fuck, I should have played those games. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be interested.
Yeah.
It'll be the classic Greg, I'm sure, if I pop in for a night and I play an hour of it and I'm like, cool, this is an old game and I see what's happening and I'm going to bounce, but it's nice that it's there.
Yeah, how much of a remaster will this actually be? Is this going to be a Dead Rising remastered deluxe or whatever? It's a remake. I'm assuming it's just going to be a port and it's just going to look a little bit better. But, so I hope that there's maybe some control stuff. It makes it feel a little bit more modern, but the fact that this is being preserved in any way is great.
That's the best part, right? Yeah, and especially for a game you've heard so much about, whether it be from Timur, whether it be from somebody on the internet or whatever. It's nice to see that people are Aunt Randy in general.
Aunt Randy.
Did she come do a Let's Play?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, better.
I mean, that's rad. Did she play a lot of games, Aunt Randy?
Yeah, she was the big gamer. She also
was she young or was she just cool?
I assume she was time and everything, but I would assume she was like early 20s when I was a little kid. So like she had like the PS1 and the PS2 and she was like she also showing me Homestar Runner on her computer. So like she was just the cool aunt and she was
That's really cool.
She was just the best.
What does she do now? What's her job?
She works in healthcare, but like also her kid now is like a huge gamer. I followed him on Twitter, and it's wild that this kid has Twitter, by the way. He should not have
How old is he?
Twitter.
How old is he?
He's like maybe like 7. Like he should not be on Twitter.
No,
But he put
not
out
be
this
on
tweet,
Twitter.
which was like a banger, and he just wrote out all the Xbox names and all the PlayStation. He said, why Xbox, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and why PlayStation, PS? He like wrote out the names. I'm like, fucking banger, bro. This kid's putting out heaters.
Did you retweet it?
No, I just liked it. I don't want to give him the harassment of
Twitter.
Give him the
spotlight?
give him the spotlight, but she's raising a lineage of gamers over there.
Is she still playing games?
Yeah, she plays Cyberpunk and stuff. She
That's
messages me all the time about stuff. So yeah,
really cool.
she's a gamer.
Aunt Randy's cool.
Yeah, she's Aunt Randy's the best.
Number 4 on the Roper Report, Coral Island developer blames Humble Games layoffs for leaving Switch port, quote, in a place of uncertainty. This is Ed Nightingale over at Eurogamer. Coral Island developer Stairway Games has responded to the lack of Switch port, blaming the recent layoffs at Humble Games for leaving the console versions in a place of uncertainty. The Cozy Life Sim game received over $1.6 million in Kickstarter funding. However, some backers who specifically backed the game for the Switch version are angry at the lack of news for a port. Other backers have claimed requests for PS4 keys have been automatically upgraded to PS5 without consent. At present, the game is available on PC via Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X/S plus Game Pass, but not Switch. Comments from backers have been shared on social media describing the situation as quote-unquote super gross. Quote, at this point, I just want my money back, wrote one backer. I can't get what I paid for, so I feel I'd like to be refunded, end quote. Now, Stairway Games has released a statement addressing the situation, claiming, quote, the impact of Humble Games' restructuring on Coral Island remains uncertain for all things related to consoles, as they are responsible for these platforms. To start, we share in your frustrations regarding the lack of a Nintendo Switch port of Coral Island. Over the years, there's a lot we've wanted to say in the spirit of transparency about many different things, but continue to be unable to do so because of the publishing agreement and NDA we have in place. The impact of Humble Games' restructuring on Coral Island remains uncertain for all things related to consoles, whether porting or pushing hotfixes, as they are responsible for these platforms. We've been in communication with our lawyers since we found out about the restructuring on social media to figure out how to navigate this new situation. There's a sentence for you.
Yeah, Jesus.
We've been in communication with our lawyer since we found out about the restructuring on social media to figure out how to navigate this new situation. For example, we have an upcoming hotfix for the 1.1 update nearing release for Steam. We have no idea how to get this update out to other platform players as we don't have backend permission on console platforms to push updates out. We only have access to the Steam backend. End quote. As a result, Switchbackers are now being offered a key change to Steam effective immediately by emailing the developer contact@stairwaygames.com. However, this doesn't account for the fact that some backers may not have a suitable PC to play on. Quote, we'll keep you posted on developments once we have more information, the statement concludes. We know it fucking sucks, but we hope you understand, end quote.
That's heartbreaking.
Ugh!
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course they learned about it on social media. What a horrible hellscape this is for them. And the fact that they don't even have access to the back ends to put this thing out. It's like that must be torture for this indie development studio who just desperately wants their community to play the thing that they paid for.
Yep.
And to be just kind of locked out, looking out and just kind of hoping for the best is horrible.
And of course to have the I stick with me. The fate of Humble Games here, and them being closed up shop, right, and then being kicked out to this third party because they're still doing it's a whole thing. Anyways, to have that happen and then blow back and look like incompetence on you as a developer, when in fact these are the nightmare scenarios when you actually get into bed with a publisher. Yeah. The idea is that anybody can publish to Steam, and you can publish it at other places too, but Steam's very easy to publish your game. Consoles are more difficult. There's hoops to jump through. There's people to know. There's store placement. There's et cetera. That's why you partner with a publisher, right? And you help get ports, and you have people taking care of this and doing this and da-da-da-da. Yeah. So to get here and have those people gone, new people there who have no idea what the fuck's going on and can't help you do anything, to be completely locked out of these platforms, a nightmare for them. Yeah,
and to not be able to have any access, or hey, this person, I'm locked out now, but I'm still under contract, so this is not a breach of contract technically, so I just kind of have to wait and just figure this out.
Yeah.
Hats off to them for this really transparent.
As transparent as it can be statement, yeah, right.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, hearts go out to them. Coral Island devs, good luck to you. Number 5, a palate cleanser from San Diego. That's right. San Diego Comic-Con's going on. And Marvel Rivals was there with a panel yesterday. The voice actor was there. Some schlub named Nolan North. However, 2 trailers got dropped that you said, let's watch them.
Yeah.
So let's watch this cinematic one first and see what this is all about. Kevin, can we get some audio out here too? It's called No One Rivals Doom, which is a dope fucking title. Because you know what that means.
What?
Dr. Doom.
What? That was enough.
Oh, I love it when they start with a Marvel thing.
I love this Marvel games logo.
Yeah. Hot.
All right, let's start at the beginning. You may think you know the story, but not quite.
Doombots. Penny Park.
Oh, snarkies.
Nolan.
The time stream is flarked.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
Holy shit.
Spider-Bots, go!
Back him.
You love it. This is what you love to do. You love to hack. God, this looks cool.
Whoa!
Yeah, they debuted this Thor yesterday. I saw Miller freaking out about
Look
it.
how beefy he is. I love a beefy Thor.
Hella.
You should have stayed away.
Trickster, feel my thunder!
Is that Willingham? Is that Travis Willingham?
A futile struggle, even for gods. In the
Doom.
end, all will kneel.
It is Travis, yeah. A great Thor, as always. You're Marvel's Avengers Thor, never forget.
Disasters
Batman.
hurt the innocent the most.
Arkham Knight.
Oh yeah, I saw they showed at the panel Sanctum Sanctorum as a level to fight on.
Oh, that's awesome.
What their mission may be. When warriors cross paths,
Magic.
sparks fly. Cower before dark child.
Whoa.
If you're an audio listener, she cut a building in half. Not actually gonna cut Iron Man.
Leads to confusion. But those who answer the call will choose what's right.
That's cool. Black Panther's cool.
matter how many foes they face,
This is a nice trailer, Raj.
So good.
always rise above.
Magneto.
I don't like him with a sword.
You like him with a sword?
I don't need it.
Let him have.
Insignificant fools.
Ah, beefy Doom too.
You love beefy boys.
I love beefy boys.
Future.
Everybody looks like Marcus Phoenix. I love it.
No one rivals Doom.
Not too shabby. Not too
Imagine
shabby.
if What If looked like that. Imagine that. No, that's awesome. I watched that trailer last night with Leanza, and I couldn't believe what I was
Are
watching.
you all in on Rivals? Because
Oh,
you
yeah.
streamed it when you went home with the
yeah.
guys and stuff? Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, we're going to play it today as well.
Yeah, of course,
I am.
Twitch.tv/YouTube.com.
I'm not really a Overwatch person necessarily. Not that I didn't like Overwatch. I
Yeah.
just fell off after Overwatch 1. So this is like scratching that itch. And the fact that they have so many characters and they
Yeah.
all feel so different, like it is such a fun time. I'm really excited to continue playing and also for the next characters we're about to see.
That's right. Out of SDCC, there was another trailer. This one is a character trailer. Let's see this one.
Good logo.
Great logo. Jeff, the land shark. It's cute. Got a Slimer vibe to him. I like that. It's funny, you were hyped on it, and then I was not. And then now that I've watched it, I like Jeff a lot. I don't know who Jeff is. I have no idea in the Marvel universe who Jeff is.
I've done very small amount of research, but it just seems like a comic character. I don't know.
Well, fuck. What do you mean? What's he from? What book's he from? What's he do?
West Coast Avengers, I believe they created
that
him
would
for.
make sense. That
Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
I don't know. Cult classic. People like him.
Is he a character? Or is he? I mean, because he's dancing that thing. Is he? You know?
What do you mean? Like in the
Are
game?
you playing as him? in the game?
Apparently, him and Thor are gonna come to the game. Which I mean, I can see Thor's moveset. What is Jeff the Land Shark's moveset? I'm excited to see.
Just
I'm
biting
excited to
people
see
left and
that.
right.
I might be made in Jeff the Land Shark, but I don't like the way that he sings. I don't like the way Jeff
I
sings.
like the way he sings.
I
I
don't
think
like
he's a
it.
healer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we saw that yesterday, and somebody in chat just said that too.
Hmm.
So I think he's
He
doing
licks
those little
people?
bubbles, and he's healing you.
Oh,
probably takes
bubbles.
bites, but probably takes bites.
okay.
Okay.
I'm interested to see that. How small do you think he is?
Real tiny.
Real tiny?
Yeah.
Do you think you'd have to like look down? And it's like kind of like a golden eye situation. You got to be
Yeah.
kinda
No
shooting
odd job. No
downwards.
Jeffs.
Yeah.
Big Jeff. No. Marvel Rivals continues to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Of course, we just talked about it on the GamesCast. You can get from yesterday, where we talked about a whole bunch of games. Of course, people will be streaming it here today. Twitch, YouTube, after Showdown. Big day of content for you. But that's all big stuff. Raj, if I wanted little stuff, say the tiniest news I needed to care about, where would I go?
I set you up with Jeff. I
know
set
you
you up
did.
with Jeff. You would go to our last story, the Newies News channel.
But then you said something else that took us away from it.
Yeah, that's true. That's my bad, everybody.
Number 6, the Wii News, ladies and gentlemen. From Game Pass, Double Fine Productions and Limited Run Games today revealed a limited Blu-ray set for the highly acclaimed documentary Double Fine Psych Odyssey starting today. Double Fine's fans can be able to pre-order this limited edition 2,000 copy collector's edition exclusively from limitedrungames.com. Pre-orders will close on August 25th. Double Fine's Psych Odyssey, episode 33, we wrote it down, is also now on YouTube.
Hour 33 minutes. I'm very excited to watch that.
This is like, it's so long.
Yeah, I was watching it at the gym every single day, and I'm like at the ending. I have like 2 more episodes to watch, so I guess 3 more episodes now. So I'm very excited.
Valorant is out now on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. That's
Woo.
big news. I didn't know that. From IGN, Blizzard Entertainment has laid out plans to begin testing for the potential return of 6v6 matchups in Overwatch 2... eventually. The update on the controversy plaguing the Overwatch community comes from game director Aaron Keller, who posted a 3,600-word director's take blog on the subject today. It's a lengthy statement on the history of 6v6, why it was removed with the launch of Overwatch 2, and how Blizzard plans to experiment with the mode once again. Date everything has been announced for Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Description on Steam reads, Date Everything is a sandbox dating simulator set in the comfort of your own home, featuring 100 fully voice-acted dateable characters.
Wow.
Let the romance flow between your bed, smoke alarm, and overwhelming sense of existential dread. Are you ready to date everything?
I'm so in. Full voice acting, hundreds of characters, 3 different endings per character? Come on. This sounds like
Doesn't seem real.
the
Doesn't seem real.
perfect dating game.
Doesn't seem real. All right. But it's been announced. We'll see when it comes out. From Variety, Gundam Requiem for Violence will launch as a game within Epic Games' Fortnite in connection with the October 17th release of Netflix's anime series of the same name. Never heard of it.
No,
Good
me
for them,
neither.
though. Fortnite to continue to be the platform.
Fuck yeah.
Mirthwood is launching on September 11th on PC.
That's not real. What is that? Mirthwood. Have you heard of Mirthwood?
Nope. Just move on.
Okay.
Just move on. Sega introduced, because you never, just move on.
You just never know.
Just,
Fucking move on.
you gotta be professional.
No.
Gotta
Yeah.
be professional. It's a real
Just
show.
hold it in.
Real show.
Hold it in. Hold it in.
Never. Sega introduced 2 new digital bundles to celebrate the iconic ongoing franchise from its RGG studio, the Yakuza Series Starter Pack and the Like a Dragon Series Starter Pack, available now on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam digital stores. The Yakuza Series Starter Pack includes Yakuza Kiwami and Yakuza Kiwami 2, remastered versions of the first 2 entries in the Yakuza series. You can get it for the low price of $29.99. Meanwhile, the Like a Dragon Series Starter Pack offers a new point of entry in the Like a Dragon series with 2 acclaimed games, Yakuza Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, for $79.99.
I don't like that. Starter pack needs to include Yakuza 0. That is kind of crazy that they don't include that.
Are they still on Game Pass?
Oh, yeah, but I mean, in general, right? Like, if you're going to make a bundle with, like, here's the starter pack, you should probably give Yakuza 0, which is easily the best entry to that franchise. That's crazy.
Okay.
That's crazy.
That's it for your Wii News, ladies and gentlemen and NBs. Let's clean up the super chats because we had a few in that were off topic or all over the place. Abitus says, Roger's thoughts on relationships in video games.
I mean, I love it. I'm going to play date everything.
Okay.
I'm going to fuck everything.
Do you think it could be better? Imran Khan, says they should be banned from games.
Oh,
It's one of the hot takes.
Just
He
relationships?
wrote in with a hot take. The dating stuff in video games.
Oh,
Not
I mean,
dating games, but like
sometimes-
romance in
sure,
video
sometimes it's overrated, but I also like a little flirt here and there. I think it's fun.
games. Okay. Your next super chat comes from Herbert the Pervert. Hey,
Whoa.
Greg, come over to my place, lol. I don't play PC games, but have fun on your own. Cozy Bear got in late with a Bioshock take. I'm for a lower budgeted Bioshock movie because it would go against the trend of so many Hollywood movies being so bloated. Remember Godzilla minus one of last year's one of last year's best movies, had a $15 million budget.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous to say $15 million is a small budget. But
Yeah.
I don't know shit about Hollywood.
Yeah, but they were also very specific of like, hey, we know how to do this. We have a plan.
From the start, we're planning that movie.
Exactly, yeah.
Not from 2022, we were planning one thing, and it's been gestating, and it's a hell, and now there's a new guy, and there's this thing, and there's... Nah.
Yeah, and they had a very small amount of VFX artists that knew what they were doing, and they had a sushi chef on staff, which was great for them, so they can work and they can eat.
Oh,
and
we're back to
everything.
Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Okay,
Godzilla.
okay, yeah.
So like they had a whole plan for this, and then I don't think you can retrofit that. But I like the idea though.
I didn't know that sushi thing. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's nice of them.
Yang Fam 11 says, kind of funny rocks. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hopefully everyone can get a Marvel Rivals beta code. We wish you luck. Go get them. Aaron Made You Laugh says, I'm hosting the show at Quantum Brewery. Well, he says I'm host the show, but I think I'm hosting the show at Quantum Brewery. Kind of funny best friends come hang out and watch a comedy show featuring Nick Scarpino and other local comics. Great beer. That's tonight. Don't forget.
Fuck yeah.
Kindoffunny.com/SDCC. Abibus is back to say, thank goodness you can't see his likes anymore. I don't know who we're talking about. That was probably something very much in the moment. Maybe your nephew.
Oh yeah.
I think it was about your nephew. And then Abiba says, also Andy has to stop pretending he doesn't play Nikki Goddess of Victory. It's made up by Shift, and the story is actually pretty good.
Is this like the?
So you're saying Andy's pretending he doesn't play it, and he does play it?
Oh.
And is this one of your weird PC games?
Yeah, I thought this was like the Nikki Infinite game. Remember that game? Or it was like, no? Okay,
No,
never
I don't
mind.
remember. I
Never
don't
mind. It's a
remember
different
that
thing.
one. All right. That is a different thing. Just like we have lots of different shows coming your way. Ladies and gentlemen, and NB's Kind of Funny Games Daily might be done, but your day with Kind of Funny is just starting because we're an 11-person small business all about live talk shows. After this, of course, you are about to get the Kind of Funny Gamescast's review of Call of Duty Warzone 2024 edition. It's me, it's Mike, it's Andy, it's Chris Anka. It's going to be a blast. Even if you're like, I don't care about Call of Duty, listen to that cast. You don't want to hear what the shenanigans they've been up to and how much Mike has pissed off Andy and Chris. It'll be great content. You'll enjoy yourself. After that, of course, Game Showdown. And then after that, a stream of Marvel Rivals. And after that, the Kind of Funny happy hour if you want to go support us on Patreon, which we wish you would because it goes a long way for us. But I digress. Like I said, that's another episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily in the Bank. If you didn't know, each and every weekday across a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live. If you like that, pick up the membership. And of course, catch us Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. to start your Kind of Funny live programming day. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.